Good day, mims and sirs, and welcome to episode 18 of the show with over 1,000 downloads, with two fat guys with chap thighs who lack length and girth down low. We're proud of ourselves and we're grateful for you, even if you accuse us in one of your hateful reviews. The number 9 fan base is growing faster than our guts and our butts. The number of people who support us is humbling and honestly nuts. We thank you for listening, we thank you for caring, we thank you for feedback, and we thank you for sharing. We're having more fun than you could know. We love having you on as part of the show and hearing your feedback as the podcast continues to grow. We never know if an episode will go this away or that away, or if Tom's wife will be on, or if I'll throw a cat away. If we stopped it today, nothing would change. We'd still be talking bullshit with our friends while we hang. But fuck it. Let's keep it going. Let's discuss everything major and minor. Let's keep up with the bullshit. Let's be proud number 9ers. Now for the man of the hour, the day, and the year. The guy who's slurring his speech but isn't drinking a beer. He's my favorite part of doing the show, my co-pilot, my comrade, my bro. Tommy fucking Washington, how are you? How's it feel to be at 1,000, man?
Pretty excited to be at 1,000, Pat. I do want to say, the last episode, I don't know if you've listened to it yet, you could definitely tell how tired I was.
Oh, yeah, no.
Because the way I was talking. It was bad.
You should have been in the room, bro. It was painful.
It was like I was super stoned and I don't even smoke weed.
Yeah, it was hurtful.
Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah.
And back to another comment you made in the intro. You're my least favorite part about doing the show.
That's weird. It's like you're the yin and I'm the yang, man.
Yeah.
A perfect mix.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, you should switch segments, but really it's like a segue. We're going to make out now, and then we'll come back to the show.
Yep, come on.
Here's the mail, it never fails. It makes me want to wag my tail. When it comes, I want to wail.
Pat, we got a lot of mail to go through today.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start with Little Defect. Little Defect, I think you know who you are. By the way, the photo I got was a guy pushing a bunch of blackheads out of his face.
That's so gross.
I also want to say that, can I say what she's in your phone as?
No. It would be a dead giveaway.
But it's hilarious.
It is really funny. I actually took that off of most of them. I'm surprised I left that one on.
All right. So she texted Pat with 7 points about our show, apparently. Number 1, Tommy needs to stop fucking crying about me not remembering him. Maybe if Tommy was significant enough to remember, we wouldn't have this issue. Well, Little Defect, you're just a little defect, so fuck off. Number 2, thanks for the shout out with a wink face. Number 3, Honey Bun, crying face.
That's not a crying face. That's laughing till she cries.
Same thing. Number 4, when you guys talked about COVID, my head wanted to fucking explode. I'm not really sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Number 5, I can't believe you let Tommy compare Mom to Freddy Krueger and didn't kick his ass. Well, it is what it is. Number 6, stop vaping when you do this, or at least back away from the mic. Number 7, how's your cholesterol? I'm concerned. Well,
That's so fucked up. The thing is, she's serious. She's like, after all that, she ends with, how's your cholesterol? That's not even part of the fucking podcast, man.
yeah, it's not good. Pat's fit as fuck.
Hold on. So I will, to the her head almost exploded listening to us talk about that shit. So I inquired within, hold on, I'll tell you exactly what she said, because I was pretty sure it was bad. And she went ahead and confirmed that right away.
That we were wrong by just reading percentages?
Yeah, so I said, what bothered you about the COVID talk? And she said, the lack of knowledge. Oh, I said, was it the lack of knowledge or the sheer bore of us reading statistics or the lack of preparation and discussing something that we should have been prepared for? And she said, the lack of knowledge, yes. And the encouragement to blindly follow Fauci, who had clearly shown he's not using the knowledge of epidemiology, but pure politics to dictate what is safe infection control. The problem
That's
with
an opinion. I mean, that's her opinion.
the problem with talking to her is she's significantly smarter than about 99% of the people I've ever met in my life. There's like 4 or 5 people in my life that are like the smartest people I know, and she is in the top 5. She is just retarded smart about everything I've ever known about.
Again, that's just her opinion. I mean, the percentages don't lie. That's all we were stating.
Well, I mean, unless the percentages are false, but I agree.
I mean,
the numbers,
that's off the World website, the World
Right.
Clock website.
the numbers should not lie.
Yeah, the numbers should not lie. Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, I did a lot of preparation for that. So,
I asked her to download the podcast and give it 5 stars. I did not realize she was going to listen to it.
well, I'm glad she does listen.
She seems to really enjoy it. She's been working third shift. So,
She does do it all night long. Well,
Yeah.
then she must have really enjoyed the 2-hour special we did last week.
oh boy. So I think that was the first one she listened
Or
to.
on Monday. This one came from another one of Patrick's buddy. This one I got a picture of a ripped off toenail.
My boy C Money over in West Hartford. You know who you are, my boy.
Bro, love the podcast. Keep it up. I'm proud of you, with a bunch of thumbs ups. So we appreciate that feedback. And now we get to my boy, Dip Dizzy Whizzle.
Dip Dizzy Whizzle.
So he sent in 2 things of feedback. One, Pat named all these episode 18 because it's for episode 18. I don't know when his text came in. But this is what I got. Feedback on the podcast. Really enjoyed the movie reviews. The difference between the 2 point of view is intriguing. Both of you had good points on reviews of the movies. Now send the picture to Tommy. And for your picture, I got a picture of a girl's blown out asshole.
Blown out, not blown out from like aggressive sex. That thing's blown out like she lifted too much weight.
Yeah, like she has a bunch of hemorrhoids.
Oh, so gross.
And then the second part was, and the podcast needs more review of sports, mainly football, especially on Monday's show, should be geared about football. So Monday's episode would not be able to be geared about football. I think we should do Thursday shows. So like this show. We can touch on football today, but Pat didn't watch a lot of football this weekend. So now he's gonna have to start watching football.
Yeah, I did
More
watch.
often.
I did watch some of the later game on Sunday and some of the Monday night game, but not much.
Yeah. Well, Mahomes is nasty. There you go.
Mahomes is like the character that when we were kids we created, and just like cheated all the numbers and just made him a 99 and everything.
Yeah.
Only he's real. It's absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
If he stays healthy, there's not a record he won't break.
I don't see why you wouldn't stay. He beat another record last night. He's the first quarterback ever to 10,000 yards. Fastest 10,000 yards. So this one came from Dip Dizzy Whizzle yesterday, right to the email. So he must have been real fired up because he didn't even go to the website too, which is not how he normally does it. And it reads a little bit like this. Pat, you were so wrong about employees sharing their pay rates with each other. Each employee is usually hired at the same starting rate. Expectation would be management positions. Exceptions. Jeez, I suck at reading, huh? There are so many variables. Examples would be attendance, productivity, what the employer actually put in. This is employer, but I think he meant employee actually put into the job. So employee A puts little to no effort into their job and may only get a 1% increase over the year. Employee B put 110% into his job, arrives early, stays late, goes above and beyond every day. Let's say he gets a 7% increase. Now employee A hears employee B got a 6% increase over what he or she was increased. Employee starts an argument because he thinks he deserves the other 6%. How is that fair? You get what you deserve. If everybody was on a level playing field, as for pay, what's the incentive to work harder? Also, the increase in minimum wage is only going to make goods and services cost more in the future. The increase in minimum wage will be passed on to the consumer. Look at the cost of a dozen eggs. Years ago, everybody was making $7 or $8 an hour minimum wage. A dozen of eggs was 99 cents. Now go look at the cost of eggs. And then he added this, and Tom, don't bust my ass about spelling either. So pissed about this topic. I don't give a shit. Pat is so wrong. So Don, I'm not going to say anything about your spelling. I actually fixed a couple things as I was reading it for you, just so that you made more sense, which is good. I'm with Don on this one.
So is the little defect. She shot me a text about it as well as part of a different conversation. I will say this to all of you who disagree with my point. One, you're entitled to your opinion, and I respect that. Two,
You are too, Pat.
I'm going to give you a couple examples of the exact same thing, and we're going to see how this behavior translates to every other facet of life. Okay? So, I'll use you and me in these examples. I didn't, but I will. So, I'm talking shit to you, just running my mouth, and you punch me in the face. Did I force you to punch me in the face?
No.
Okay, so on a school playground, when somebody makes a yo mama joke and you beat that kid up, is the kid guilty of making you beat him up?
No.
Okay, only because you guys, everything about this is reactive. You're saying if you talk about pay and other people react, you've created a hostile work environment, but you didn't. So I'll continue. When someone rides your ass on the highway, so you do 120 miles an hour to get away from them just to show off, right? You could have easily just slowed down a little bit and they would have passed you. You don't have to aggressively slow down. I'm not talking about slamming your brakes. It's actually what you learn in driver's ed. You just slow down a little bit. They'll increase the amount of space between the two of you, right? So when you crash your car going 120 miles an hour, will their car insurance cover your car?
No.
So they didn't force you to crash your car?
No, sir.
Okay. When someone pulls a Trump sign out of your front yard, did you incite that type of behavior by stating your political affiliation?
No.
Okay,
And I do not have a Trump sign in my front yard.
Do any of these apply directly to you?
I don't know.
Okay. So if somebody lies to you and you lie back, did you automatically become a liar because they lied to you?
No, sir.
Okay. So again, we're talking about opinions here. In my opinion, all of those are very pussy-ass behaviors. They're reactive. You change the way you behave to lower yourself down to somebody else's standards in all of those examples. So here's the point. My rights don't stop where somebody else's feelings start, right? So if I say something, I don't force behavior from somebody else. That's just not how it works.
I agree with you with that.
I don't think you do. Because if I say...
I agree with what you say. The reason that you would get blamed is because you started talking about it. You brought it up. So because you brought it up, it made that other person upset.
Okay. That's it. So if somebody gets upset, it's on them.
Absolutely.
How to react. That doesn't create a hostile work environment. That creates an opportunity for somebody to elevate, to work harder, to come in earlier, to work more hours, to cover more shifts. It also creates the opportunity for them to fuck up. That's on them. That's not on me.
Sure. I'm not going to talk about this anymore. I made that decision.
I'm glad. I feel like these were some solid points.
Good. Don, we appreciate the feedback as always. And I'm glad we're on the same side on this one.
True story.
Pat, anything else you want to add?
No, Dip Daisy Whistle, I love you, man.
By this email, he loves me a little bit
and
more this time.
obviously the strength of your recommendation is why Silos is Money is listening to the podcast. He was one of the feedbackers.
Yeah, man, we appreciate you spreading the word. Remember, everybody spread the word. If you guys could send in your feedback to the9podcast@gmail.com, that would be great. Or go to our website, number9podcast.com. There's a link right there where you can send us a message. You don't have to go into your email.
Yeah, as much as I appreciate the text messages, it's literally like 4 extra steps to get it onto the show. I'll tell you what, instead, you find the most disgusting picture you can find, send feedback, but also include your picture, and then Tommy gets it anyways. Fuck it.
True story.
It's me, Versace. Whoops, somebody shot me, and I was just checking the mail. Get it? Checking the mail.
So, Pat, what did you do this weekend?
I went with Emily, the 2 artists formerly known as Rose and Blanche, and I guess Rose or not Blanche. Yeah, Blanche. Rosa or Blanche, depending on which one of them was Rose and which one of them was Blanche. Her husband to Salem. Man, it was awesome. They requested new names. They felt like Rose and Blanche.
Salem, Connecticut, or Salem, Mass?
Salem, Mass, the witchy place. Is Salem, Connecticut witchy?
I have no idea.
I have no idea either. I'm not sure I've ever been there.
I'm not into the witchy thing, so.
No, man, it's cool. It's not just witchy.
Pat, can I ask you something, man?
Yeah, what's up?
Like, I hate to cut you off.
This is about me smacking my lips.
Yeah, man. Like, I'm listening to the
I saw it
podcast.
coming from a mile away.
Dude, I'm listening to the podcast today, dude. And
So you can get... Yeah.
It's
So
super fucking annoying.
I don't know if I got dry mouth. Like, I feel like I do have a dry mouth. I don't know if I just fucking talk too much, which we both know I do.
Maybe you should drink some more water in between talking.
Maybe. There are pop filters that go on the front of these things. It looks like
I
a
don't
screen
think
door.
we tried that because that's what we have pop filter covers on the mic.
That's not the same thing. I'm telling you. That's
We
what they're
have one.
for.
They're right there.
I think we should install one.
Go ahead. I don't think it's going to make a difference.
It's fucked up.
Don't do it right now, though, because you're going to make all kinds of noise in the mic.
It's a true story.
Anyway, continue with your story. I'm sorry I cut you off.
Yeah, so they wanted to be named, coincidentally, after the Sanderson sisters, which are from Hocus Pocus. So I guess they're now going to be Sarah and Winifred instead of Rose and Blanche.
Yeah, I'm going to continue to call them Rose and Blanche. I'm
I got
sorry.
to tell you, it's going to be hard for me not to as well.
Yeah, it's just so much. Winifred? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rose and Blanche. Gotcha.
Here's the thing. So this whole day, well, I'm going to skip everything and get to the very end, and then we can go back if we want to. But so that's the first thing we talk about. Like, I get in the car and I'm like, are either of them Rose and Blanche? And Emily's like, that's actually both Rose and Blanche. I'm like, holy shit. And they're like, yeah. Can we have new names? So that's the very
They're
beginning
like,
of
yeah,
the day.
you are a fat ginger, and can we have new names?
Yeah, you were exactly what we expected. So at the now, the husband says nothing about this podcast at any point, right? So I'm like, they probably just don't talk about it. Like, it's like, what the fuck does he care, right?
Yeah.
About our podcast that his wife listens to because a friend at work has a boy, like there are so many degrees of separation here.
Yeah.
So I think nothing of this. And they're getting to their car. We meet at Emily's house. So now we're dropping them at Emily's house, and they're getting into their car. And he turns. Now he's cool. He was cool all day. We talked. He was fun to hang out with. He turns and he goes, "Hey, can you give me a cool name on the podcast?" So,
Nice.
Dude, it took everything in me not to fucking die.
So does he listen to the podcast?
I don't know, because he was literally getting in the car.
Hey, new guy.
Left so much to
Listen,
be asked.
new guy. If you listen to the episode, go to number9podcast.com and shoot us an email.
Well, hold on.
And hold on, because Pat already looked up a name for you that we're going to name you.
No, I didn't look it up. This is strictly off of memory.
Okay. We're not going to reveal that until I get a message from new guy.
Oh, bullshit.
True story, bro.
Come on.
New guy's got to send in some feedback.
Oh, I'm so excited to give him his name.
Me too.
I will
And
say this.
Hey.
Young man, you will probably not like this name nearly as much as I do. I think it's genius.
Here's a good idea, right? We have a surprise for next Monday's episode. And as long as he gets us some feedback before Sunday night, we'll make sure we announce it on the episode for Monday.
Oof. This
surprise that
this cliffhanger is going to keep me on the edge of my seat, and I know what's coming.
I'm not gonna lie to you, new guy. That's what we're gonna call him until he emails in.
I'm
New
okay
guy.
with it.
I don't know what it is yet, so and you know what? I'm gonna ask Pat not to tell me.
Whoa, it's going to kill me. It's going to eat me alive.
Yeah. So
And
Pat,
Emily
you can't,
doesn't listen to the podcast, so she's not going to ask me to tell her either. I have nobody to share this name with.
maybe Rose and Blanche or Tiffany and Scott. What their names?
Winifred and Sarah.
Yeah, Rose and Blanche. Maybe which one's married to Rose? Married to the new guy?
I don't know, because we didn't really give them specific names.
Okay, so we'll go with Rose is married to the new guy. Rose, make sure you tell a new guy, husband, to email in. Number9podcast.com. There's a link right there. Shoot us an email. Let us know what you think of the first 18 episodes, bub.
Or let us know, what you thought of Salem. I mean, shit.
Yeah.
There's plenty going on out there.
So how, I'm not into witches or anything like that. Is that what the whole thing's about?
So I'm going to say the short answer is yes. But it's not like you're walking past like goblets of fire as you're walking through the streets of Salem. It's very much, and I did not expect this. I've never been before. I've always wanted to go because I love like the Gothic scene very much. I think that like women who dress that way are sexy as hell.
You're fucking disgusting.
I knew you wouldn't agree with that. I love dark. Yeah.
Oh, we know you like dark
movies,
Pat.
dark humor.
One day, I'll tell a story.
You can talk about this story every episode. We'll never get to it.
Pat, one day I'm just gonna blurt it up.
I will give you this. In the event of my untimely death, the next podcast, you may share that story and give
I'm gonna share
whatever
it
opinion.
Pat, I'm gonna share it without you being dead. One day when I'm editing, I'm just gonna put it in.
That'll be the last episode, man. You got to have my okay with that shit.
I don't have your. Well, then I'll just have to kill you.
There you go. Then, yes, then it would be acceptable.
Okay.
Okay. So,
I could have killed you Saturday night, but that's neither here nor there.
So if you can, you've been to Chinatown
Nope.
or Little Italy,
Nope.
Provincetown.
Nope.
Okay, so here's the thing. Chinatown is very much
China?
Chinese people. Yeah, and tourists, right? So I go to Chinatown, I'm buying like a Gucci handbag for $34 off of a woman who has made a very nice
Whose kid
handbag.
is sewed it together.
Yeah, it's like an imitation handbag. It's not stolen. It's not top quality like it's supposed to be. It's bootleg, right? But the culture, I mean, there's, just Chinese everything. Chinese signs, Chinese...
Finger traps.
Chinese finger traps. Yes, absolutely. Little Italy, very much, like there's tons of Italian restaurants.
Spaghetti, pizza.
Yep, you can buy, your...
Mob people.
Yeah, you can buy a $50 Rolex. That's, like they're missing a letter. It's just a Rolex.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Or Rolex.
Yeah. I've never been to Provincetown, but my understanding
Sure
of it,
you haven't digging them off.
but my understanding of it is that it's a heavily gay culture. And when I say gay, I mean like the stereotypical kind of very feminine males, very masculine women, very rainbow flag touting, and
People in drag.
yeah. Okay, there you go. Yes, drag queens. So those areas are well known for those things. I never really thought of that going to Salem. I thought like this will be cool because, we'll be able to like look at old houses and that have a story behind them. And maybe like there will be a placard in the front yard and you can read the story. We went to a reenactment. There were bus tours, there were walking tours, there were tons.
Did they burn somebody alive?
So, well, here's the thing. There is a strip there that does reenact hangings. We did not see that, but I was actually talking to somebody about it today, and they said, like normally, we'll say non-COVID times, they march like down the main strip of shops, and it's like people going to the hanging. But I mean, everybody was dressed, we'll say, in very goth clothing. I won't say everybody, but a good majority of people. We didn't book anything. Like this was not a pre-planned vacation, so we didn't do some of the things that they wanted to do. There was a fucking.
Well, it sounds like another reason to hang out with Rose Blanche, new guy. And,
oh yeah, we're definitely gonna go again. We're gonna plan some shit. But
Erica
even like
might be in that sort of thing.
Erica would have a blast. Absolutely.
I would not, so we're not doing that.
I'm not sure you would get a kick out of it. I don't know. There's probably a couple things you would really enjoy.
It's not my thing, man. And to be honest with you, I don't like leaving the house.
Well, that's true too. And we walked all fucking day.
That don't bother me. I actually,
Yeah, I didn't mind it either. I thought I would.
up until late last year, late last year, I had never been to New York City,
Yeah.
like the actual city. And we went and we walked all day long, and I think it was worth it. I really enjoyed myself. I would go back. Walking, that don't faze me. I would want to go do Times Square again. We did Times Square, but we were beat. It was a long day,
Times Square does nothing for me.
I just think,
It's literally an intersection. That's what I get out of Times Square.
yeah, but like late at night, there's a bunch of stuff going on.
Did you see the Naked Cowboy?
Not that I remember.
He's fantastic. It's a dude who just plays guitar, but his guitar is covering, so he has no clothes on. He has whitey tighties on, and his guitar like covers, so it looks like he's naked. And people just like, come from miles away to take pictures with this guy.
Huh.
It's pretty funny.
So we stayed probably like a block and a half, maybe 2 blocks from Times Square.
Yep.
And then we actually walked to Madison Square Garden, where
Yeah.
we went to go see a show. It was a concert, Hootie and the Blowfish. What's up?
I went to Madison Square
smacked
Garden.
again. No big deal.
What happened?
Smacked again.
Smacked again? Oh. I thought you were still talking about the show, and I was like, Smacked again? Is that a band?
We were talking about the show we're doing right now.
Yeah, different show.
Maybe a little sip of that water.
I went to Madison Square Garden and watched a UFC event with a couple coworkers a long time ago. Getting a drink of water.
You're such a cocksucker.
Afterwards, we were walking out. Now, you can imagine this was...
Time out. You understand I say these things to you, not for me. It's for the listeners.
Yeah, no, I get it. You're the sacrificial lamb who has to deliver this heartbreaking news.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And it comes from the one upstairs.
Which is weird because she loves the sound of me smacking my lips, so it's weird that she would complain.
Yeah, okay. Keep it moving.
What up, Erica Boo Boo? So I went with the Little Defect and a couple coworkers. We met like Forrest Griffin. We met Matt Serra. It was awesome. It was a watch along UFC because the UFC was not sanctioned to fight in New York City.
Yeah.
So they brought UFC fighters in, and we all watched it on the huge like jumbotron together. But they just straight sat with us and talked like old friends.
Nice.
And there was only like 300 people. So, I mean, you got time with these guys. So we're leaving, but here's this adrenaline-fueled, male-dominated crowd, and we've all just watched a bunch of fights. So somebody's going to be an idiot. So I see, you walk out like through the tunnels, and on top of the tunnel, there are people. So we're walking, and there is a black kid in front of us, and you see him stop, and he looks up, and he's like, who the fuck did that? And I see this kid is now about to jump from the top of this tunnel. We're talking about a 20-foot jump. This is not a short jump. And he's like, me, you fucking, and then drops an N-bomb and then jumps right in front of this black kid. He does not, by any means, stick the landing. He eats shit. Okay, so he's obviously fucking hammered. He's clearly racist. What he did was loogie down into this fucking kid's face. Ugh. Okay, so he like barely gets up onto his feet. He's not standing, but his feet are underneath him. And he looks, and this kid fucking rocks him in his face. His face splits wide open, right at the eye, like he hit him at the top of his eye socket. Blood everywhere. The kid immediately goes down. He grabs his face. He runs out of the tunnel. And the other kid, I mean, nobody's going to do anything. He got what he had coming. You know what I mean? So this black kid is going to walk away scot-free. Nobody's upset that this happened. I'm actually celebrating it. So we get out of the tunnel, and this kid has turned, and he's got his hand over his eye, well, both of his hands, and there's blood pouring through his hands. And he takes his hand off of his eye, and there's no way he's recognizable to his friends at this point. And he gets the guy that I was with, the coworker, and he's like, how bad is it? And he goes, you need a fucking doctor. Oh man, it was a wonderful. That's the only time I've ever been to Madison Square Garden. It was well worth the trip.
Nice.
But anyways, so we have to figure out. So I'm going to let you pick the single one or the married one. Which one's Winifred?
The married one's Rose. The single one's Blanche.
Okay, but if we have to respect their wishes and give them new names,
we don't have to. It's our podcast.
You know what? I'll do it. I'm going to say that the married one is Sarah because Sarah's such a less exciting name than Winifred, and she's married. She's not single, so she gets to be the lame name.
That's nice, Pat. Make fun of her because she's married.
I'm not making fun of her. I'm just saying.
What happens when you and Emily get married?
Then we get new names?
Maybe. According to you.
I mean, technically, she would get a new name.
Yeah, your name's already boring as shit.
Yeah.
Well, that's not true. We don't know if you're a man or a woman.
That's true. Anyways.
Winifred sounds like a dude's name.
Winifred?
Yeah.
Winnie?
I didn't abbreviate it.
Like Winnie Pfeffer. Winnie Peppercorn? Whoever that was from the Wonder Years. Okay, valid counterpoint. Anyways, They're both cool as fuck, which I was shocked by. You just have to assume that
Why would you be shocked by that?
Because,
Emily's
man,
cool, so why wouldn't they be cool?
I don't know, because they're coworkers. I really thought like they'd give me the ninth degree all day. I thought they would talk shit. I don't know. I have nothing to base
listen to
that
the
on.
podcast, so why would they talk shit?
I have nothing to base why
They
I
clearly
thought.
enjoy us talking about absolutely fucking nothing for hours.
Valid point. I thought that this day was gonna be either wonderful or a nightmare. But if it was a nightmare, it was going to be an unbearable one. It was an awesome day. It really was the whole way through.
I'm sorry you were tired for that, Pat.
I appreciate that. You kept me up. Just
I didn't keep you here.
I don't understand.
How did I keep you here?
Because every time I try to leave, you wanted to talk more.
That's maybe
we
for
did
like the
a
last
2-hour podcast.
maybe for like the last half hour. Actually, after we stopped recording, I said this in the podcast. You must not have gotten to the end.
No,
Me
I
and
listened.
Pat
Yeah.
just went outside and talked for 3 hours.
Yeah,
And it
I
was 2
left-
o'clock in the morning.
it was like 2:14 when I left.
Yeah, it was rough. And then I came down here and did some editing. So I didn't get to bed till like almost probably 2:45.
I feel you. And Emily had texted like to confirm plans, and that was at like midnight. And I didn't fucking text her back because I was outside with you.
She probably assumed you were sleeping.
Nope. She knew I was here doing the podcast. So, in the morning, I was driving to her house. Like, I don't know if I'm still going. Like, because I don't know what time we're leaving. So there's a
Why
very
didn't you
solid.
just respond?
I did. So I responded at 2:30 when I got home, and then I responded when I woke up. But I was like, I don't know if we're leaving at 7. I don't know if we're leaving at 9. So I just started driving to her house. Like, I hope they didn't already leave. I hope she's not mad at me and they just left without, like, shooting me a text. But she was fine. She's cool. Anyways, so Winifred has a tarantula.
I'm out.
Listen, I thought the same thing.
I'm out, dude. I'm not fucking around those spiders. Anybody with snakes is a fucking lunatic.
She
I'm
also
all set.
has a bearded dragon, which is a lizard.
That's okay.
I believe she said she used to have a snake or she wants a snake, one of the two.
I'm out on snakes, dude. That's not cool.
But listen, man, did you know that tarantulas, well, I don't know if it's all tarantulas, but this particular tarantula, it's not poisonous or venomous, so it can't really do anything to you.
Yeah, man. They look freaky, though. I'm out.
I want to open my mouth. I said this. I want it to crawl into my mouth and like back out of my mouth. She said that's not likely because they don't like moisture, but my mouth's always dry as fuck. Maybe it'll work.
There's something wrong with you.
Anyways, they were both cool as fuck. They're animal lovers, obviously. They all work with animals all day. I will say, I'm not going to go into detail about some of the things Winifred has to do for that fucking job, but I don't envy her position. And I think if she would come on this bitch and talk about her job on the podcast, you would be astounded by what she does at work. We can cross that bridge. This is your open invitation, Winifred. Anytime you want, tell Emily you're in.
Yeah. I don't really know what they do. You never told me what Emily does. So,
They work at an animal hospital.
yeah. So I imagine they do some crazy shit. I'm not like, I like animals, but I don't. You know what I mean?
I love other people's animals
It's like
at
kids.
other people's houses.
You know?
Yeah. That's so. I would love to have 9 million cats, but the
That's not
heartbreak
true.
of
I tried to
losing-
give you a cat, and you said go fuck yourself.
Arlo's my boy. When I come over here, Arlo and
I
I
tried
are
to give
friends.
you your own kitten.
I know. Listen, the pain of losing Frank is far more than I can't do it again. I can't. If
Yeah,
you had
you
seen
love
me
Frank
that
so
night,
much you threw him in the trash.
it was an accident.
Yeah. Well, when you die, I'm gonna accidentally throw you in the trash.
I did. I listened to a thing today. These two dudes. It was 1893, and this woman was pregnant, but she wasn't married. So she went to the man who impregnated her, to talk about schmushmortions, and he agreed. The two men. Now it's her, I guess, lover and his friend. Both were veterinarians, like licensed vets. And nobody knows how this went. They either went to an abortion place and it got botched, or they went with the vet science that we know, we can give you an abortion, and they botched it. One way or the other, there was a botched abortion. And the result of this was that they cut her head off because they were obviously going to go to jail for the botched abortion. So they cut her head off and leave her body in a cornfield, right, for this farmer to find. Because back then their idea was if there's no head, there's no way to identify the body, right? So they cut her head off. They take it with them. They leave the body. A 9-year-old kid playing in the fucking field finds the body. The parents of this girl said like 2 weeks prior, hey, I'm going to town with my friends. But since then, all of the friends have been accounted for. None of them knew they were supposed to be hanging out with her, and the girl hasn't been found. So the parents hear about this headless body that's found. They call the local PD to that town. And they're like, hey, we can identify that body if it's our daughter. And the PD's like, you probably can't. So, like your daughter, if this victim is your daughter, doesn't have a head. And they're like, does she have webbed feet? And they're like, we think we found your daughter. So they identified her from states away, like just based on webbed feet. And they drove down and like verified, like, yeah, no, that's her. Fucking crazy.
Cool story, Pat.
Listen, man, you brought it up.
How did I bring it up?
I don't know.
I didn't bring it up.
I can't think of the girl's name.
Interesting. You do anything else this weekend?
No, nothing.
Yeah, me neither.
I worked.
Yeah, we did podcast stuff till late Saturday. Got up Sunday. It was Erica's birthday on Sunday. So hung out with her. We went out. What did we do? We went out and did something Sunday during the day.
Oh, no, you know what? I got myself into some hot water. I want your opinion on this. You know me just as well as anybody else, right? So this has not been preferenced. Have you in any way been cued for what I'm about to ask you?
No.
What do I say to everyone I'm close to before I hang up the phone?
Love you.
Okay. Thank you.
He did, but you know what? Thanks for bringing it up, Pat.
Because I don't say it to you.
Nope, never.
We spend a lot of fucking time. And I do say I love you to you. Not every time we talk on the phone, because we don't talk on the phone. We text. But I say I love you all the time.
Yeah, like a joking way, like, love you, buddy.
Well, you want me to hold your fucking hands and look you in the eyes?
Well, I thought we were dating.
No.
You call me your girlfriend.
You think you're my girlfriend. We are not dating. There's a difference.
All right, that's fair.
So anyways, Emily's over Sunday night.
You dropped the L-bomb, didn't you?
I get a phone call from my ex-wife who has agreed to listen to the podcast but can't download it. So I answered the phone because she's texted me like 400 times. I haven't responded because I just haven't been good at responding to texts for the last 35 years or phone calls. So I answer the phone.
Huh, that's funny.
I explain.
You always respond to Emily's texts.
That's true. I explain.
So if there's sex involved, you can respond.
Well, spoiler alert, I did have sex with my ex-wife.
But not currently.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying. There's no more sex involved, so you don't
see.
respond.
I respond to your text
That
messages.
doesn't sound good to Emily right now, where you just said there is sex involved, and you're going to say that you said I love you to your ex-wife in front of Emily.
Yeah, so listen. So I explained how to do the podcast, to how to download it.
She's one of the smartest people I know. She can't even download a fucking podcast.
I hope she comes at you, bro. I can't wait. Anyways.
How could she come at me? She doesn't remember me.
Oh my God, you're still on that. So sensitive. It's not her fault that you're not memorable.
Pat, what's funny is you never forgot me.
I barely know who you are now.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah, so the conversation ends. I say I love you. And there's a change in Emily's behavior. She is not by any stretch like a bitch. She's not losing her mind. She's not yelling at me. Excuse me. She's just clearly changed.
Annoyed.
I wouldn't even say annoyed, man. I would say hurt.
Concerned.
Yeah. And it takes me a minute to catch on to this. And I'm finally like, is this because of the way that phone call ended? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, man. So I'm asking you, should I have not said I love you?
Yes. You should not have.
Is it only because it's that person? Like, because I was, in fact, married to that person at some point.
That's part of it. I don't think you should say it to any female that you're on the phone with, especially if you're in front of a girl that you are intimate with, that you haven't said it to yet.
But I haven't. This wasn't like I'm in love with you. This wasn't like I want to be remarried to you. This wasn't like.
Yeah, it was probably one of these. Love you, bye.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen her in, I'm going to say 10 years.
Yeah, but Emily doesn't know that.
Well, I did tell her, though I'm not sure she believed that. I mean, I did tell her I haven't seen her in 10 years after she heard me say I
Dude,
love
put
you to
yourself
her.
in her shoes.
Yeah.
No, Pat. No, Emily. I'm going to tell you something about Pat if you don't know this. Pat's not the jealous type.
True story.
You can say I love you to me for all he cares.
100% true.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that she was jealous either.
To be but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
She knows what I mean. Everybody knows what I mean.
Yeah.
I've known Pat a long time. It's nothing to be concerned about. And trust me, you're way better looking than the other one anyway.
She is fucking hot.
I remember.
By the way, that was Emily. Emily, I was calling you hot. Please don't get that. Emily doesn't listen to the podcast. I don't know why I'm talking to Emily at this point.
Oh, me neither. That's a good point. Well, Rose and Blanchard.
Yeah, listen, Winifred and Sarah, I was referring to Emily when I said she's fucking hot.
Wink.
Speaking of, she had like black shorts and these little gray boots and a nice little shirt combo for Salem. When I saw her in the morning, I was like, oh, it's going to be a good day, Tater. Oh, she looked good.
Shorts with boots on?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm out.
Again, we were in Salem, man.
Yeah,
She's on the witchy side anyways with her like she has we'll call it black hair. I called it brown hair one time and she has corrected me daily since. I've only said it once. But she had when you met her, she had what, red tips?
I'm not gonna lie to you, Pat.
You couldn't see her.
I couldn't see her.
It was dark as fuck.
Get a good look at her.
Yeah. Well, now she has blue tips in her
She
hair.
had a very nice outline of her body.
Yeah, it's a good silhouette.
Yeah. So, you want to do a little bit of sports talk before we do these would you rathers and we get into a fight and I have to end the podcast?
Yeah, before we move on to that, I just want to take the
Oh,
time
we
to
don't
say...
get into fights over would you. It's grind my gears.
Yeah, I just want to take the time to say that I love you. And you know what? Everybody listening, I love you all.
Hold on,
And
who are you saying I love you to? Who was that first one intended for?
you.
Oh.
Motherfucker, I'm looking at you.
Well, I thought maybe you were dropping the L-bomb to Emily on, like, for the first time on the podcast.
You think that I would drop the L-bomb for the first time to a girl that I'm dating on a podcast that she doesn't listen to?
Maybe.
Guess what your boyfriend said on the podcast? You think that's how that would get, like, her friends would have to fucking tell her?
I think she listens.
I don't. Here's the thing. If it were you, would you? I wouldn't. If
Yes, I would listen. I'd
if
be
your
curious
wife
of
had
what
a
the fuck you're talking
podcast
about.
and she's just talking about getting slammed by dudes all the time, are you going to listen to that?
Yeah.
That's creepy, bro.
How's that creepy?
Emily, if you're listening, that's creepy, bro.
How's that creepy?
I don't know.
Why, you've never slept with anybody else, Pat?
Do you want to? Do you think that? Hold on.
All
So
that
you want to
matters-
hear your wife's old sex stories?
Like, I'm not looking for them, but I'm
If
okay.
you're listening to the podcast, you are. This one, anyways.
Pat, you haven't told a sex story since you, like, officially started dating Emily.
No, that's not when it was. It was because you told me that your parents stopped listening to the show, and you wrote on the board, "Are we too dirty-minded?"
Well, they stopped listening. We can still talk about
Dip
it.
Dizzy Whistle, just so you know, he wrote, "Are we too dirty-minded?" and he spelled it T-O, not T-O-O, if you want to talk about his spelling.
I knew how to spell it out. It was just real quick, Pat. I fucking hate you.
Yeah, no, I'm just announcing that I love everybody. That doesn't mean that I'm in love with any of you. That doesn't mean that I want to spend the rest of my life with any of you or want to rekindle an old flame with any of you. It's just a term that I use. When Russ died, Russ was my my mother's late husband. It was a pretty grim reminder that we should probably tell everybody how we feel before it's too late.
It's a good point, Pat. I hate you. I'm glad we were able to do this. Here.
I hope I fucking die on the way home. I do. You're gonna have to live with that decision that I hate you as your last speech.
Pat, I know that deep down you know how I really feel about you.
Yeah, you just told me.
A lot of hate. Anyway, let's talk about some football that you didn't watch. Did you See, well, you didn't watch any of that Cincy game, huh? When I text you?
No, I heard it was crazy.
Dude, Joe Burrow gets so close and yet so far, and I needed him to win that fucking game.
Yeah, I did not have a good week in picks.
I had a decent week, but if he wins that game, the way it was looking was that I was going to win.
Are we tied in the league?
I'm ahead of you.
I don't think that's true. I'm
I'm
checking.
ahead of you and Paul Walker. You and Paul Walker are tied. But Kansas City, obviously, I picked Baltimore last night, surprisingly, and Kansas City handled it pretty handily. I picked Pittsburgh, I picked Cincy, San Francisco, New England, Tennessee, Cleveland, Buffalo. I had Atlanta in the Chicago game, which they blew that game too. Like, dude, Atlanta, dude, what's going on with? Have you seen them blow these games?
No, I have
'Cause you don't
not.
watch
I've been a
it.
terrible football fan.
Yeah. I think I had the Chargers. Carolina beat them. Of course, I had Indy because they were playing the Giants or the Jets. I did have Seattle against Dallas. I had Tampa Bay over Denver, and I had the Cardinals over Detroit. And the Detroit squeaked one out.
Like a fart.
They squeaked it out. Arizona should have won that game.
Did Amendola contribute to that game?
I have no idea. I did not watch that. I watched the 49ers game. I listened to most of the Cowboys game because I had to go up and get my son in Manchester. And
Oh,
then,
you really are beating me by one.
yeah, I told you I'm ahead of you.
I mean, you're down
I'm
by
like
2 to my sweet angelic mother, who
Yeah,
is
that's all right.
beating
She
all
got
of
beat
us.
this week.
She came in second.
Yeah, whatever. Story of her life.
It's fucked up. I'm gonna tell my dad you said that.
Your dad would probably agree. You want to call him?
And ask him which one of them normally came first during sex.
Yes.
I feel like that's a weird, only because even if he was the one, he would just lie.
True. No, your dad's a
I'm
man of
happy to call.
honor. Your dad's a man of honor and integrity. He would not lie.
I'm happy to call and ask my dad a question. I just don't think that question would go well. I think he'd just be like, no, she did. Like 6 times. She came while I was getting undressed.
I'm so good looking. Yeah, it was. So yeah, I watched the Niners game, listened to the Cowboys game, finished watching it when we went out to dinner for my wife's birthday, and then I caught part of the. I watched very little of the Monday night game or the Sunday night game. I couldn't even tell you who played, and I watched like a quarter of last night's game. It wasn't really. I was busy doing other stuff last night. Forgot what the hell I was doing. Oh, I was messing around with my truck because we got my wife a car for her birthday.
Yeah, you did. Tell us about it.
It's a Compass. It looks like a Stormtrooper.
It is
It's about it.
sick.
It is sick. I'm a little upset. Her car has CarPlay, mine does not. And that's what I was doing last night. Was I was trying to update my Uconnect in my truck to have CarPlay, and that's not an option. They didn't come out with it until the following year for my truck. So I'm pretty bummed about it, Pat.
Yeah, I mean, your truck's plenty nice. I don't know why you're stressing it.
My truck is nice, but have you ever? Well, you've never been in a car with CarPlay.
Yeah, I don't even know what it is.
It's definitely well worth it. It's awesome.
Do you pay for it?
No, it's a feature of the car.
Oh, that's pretty dope.
It's awesome. CarPlay is awesome.
Are you going to explain what it is? You're just going to keep saying it's awesome.
Awesome.
That's, you know what? That's awesome.
So you plug your phone into the USB port,
Yep.
and
So is it charging as well?
yes,
Okay.
and certain apps come up on your touch screen, like your message app, your phone app, Maps app, certain like anything that you have for radio. So Pandora, Spotify, podcasts, all that stuff comes up.
Yeah.
And then certain like if you had Yelp or something on there for an app, it'd come up. There you go.
That's an alarm.
I was waiting for it, and so like say you're using a map, so you go into the maps, you can punch in the address, and now it's a navigation on your screen, which used to be like a huge feature in a car, right?
Yeah.
Well, now everybody just uses their phone, so this one's using the one off your phone. It's sick. It's sick. I wish I had it.
That is pretty dope.
But I don't. So I was looking into maybe seeing if I could buy a whole new head unit that would have it on there.
Did you find one?
I haven't looked too much into it yet, but I did do an update thinking that would solve it, and it won't. So, and then I almost broke my radio. It was a big mess. So that's how my night went yesterday.
You're a big mess.
It's been rough, Pat. It's been a rough
I
couple
went
weeks.
to a restaurant with Paul Walker and his wife.
It's not his wife. It's his girlfriend.
Same deal.
Not really.
And like they live together.
Wife is forever, unless you're you.
They've got. It's so fucked up, dude.
It's true though.
I mean, 50% of us are getting divorced nowadays.
Who's us?
Human beings, Americans. I should say Americans.
I'm not getting divorced anytime soon.
I don't know the divorce rate among the Indonesian people. I just know Americans are really bad at commitment.
I'm not. You are.
That's fucked up, man.
You got divorced. I haven't.
I stayed with Frank until the day he died.
I'm pretty sure I would. How long were you married?
4 years, maybe.
Jeez. I'm going to beat you out.
I hope so, buddy. I
only
really
got
do.
I only got like 10 months left to beat that. So anyway, you want to do these would you rathers and we'll get out of here?
Let's do it.
You said you had them, man. You're looking at me.
That was like a cue for me to open up my phone and go
Yep,
to
there
the
you go.
Would You Rathers. All right. I think these are two good ones for us. They're neither too serious or too funny. Would you rather be the funniest person in every room you walk into or be the smartest?
Smartest.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Because smart pays the bills, not funny.
He said, never hearing of comedy.
Yeah, but to make it in the comedy world, you have to, like, that's a hard road, man. It's not easy. You're just smart. If you're just really, really intelligent, like, look at Bill Gates. Guy's really smart.
Well, I mean, to that point, look at David Koresh.
I don't know who that is.
You do. He's the guy who ran
You
Waco.
Who?
Waco.
I don't know who that is.
The cult in Waco, Texas.
Oh,
Charles Manson, Jim Jones, Hitler. They were all very, very smart guys.
yes.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
That's a fucked up group, man.
So you rather be the funniest?
Nah, I'm smart too.
Okay.
I'm just.
Yeah, okay. As long as we're going to say, I mean, I like
I
being
just
funny
feel
and all.
like, yeah, like being funny is cool, but if you could have the same effect on people without making them laugh, like if you were smart enough to figure out a way to do that, there's really no need to be funny.
If I'm the smartest person in the room, then most likely I am the funniest too because I know how to be funny because I'm smart. That's not true. Very smart people have very weird personalities.
Yeah, and that I really think there's some borderline, like Robin Williams was both. That's a bad combination. We see how that ended. Oh, I'm sorry. Too soon?
It's a hang joke. Real nice, Pat.
I'm just saying.
Suicide's not funny in any way, Pat.
I didn't say that suicide was funny. I didn't even say Robin Williams being dead was funny. I actually said it's a bad combination.
Okay.
I did, in the last intro, write a joke about David Carradine jerking off to you when he died, though, if we're being honest.
Okay. What's the next would you rather, Pat? There's a lot of dead space here.
Well, you were just staring at me with this weird look on your face. Would you rather know how you'll die or when you'll die?
When?
Really?
Yep.
Interesting.
Why? How I die doesn't change anything.
I vehemently disagree.
Why? You're just going to try to keep avoiding it, but you know how you're going to die, so there's no point in avoiding it. If you know when, you can make sure everything's ready, make sure your family's all set. You know what I mean? There's no surprise.
Well, the surprise could be the how.
Yeah, who cares about that? It's not going to matter. I'm going to be dead.
So if I was like, you're going to die in 2025, but what I didn't mention, no, if you have something to say, go ahead. Just trying to have a podcast here.
That's your alarm going off every 5 minutes. Keep going.
That's what you think my alarm sounds like?
You get it.
It sounded like the dude from What's a Fox Say? You remember that song?
Does a fox say?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
So you're going to die in 2025. What I don't mention is that in 2022, I'm going to chain you in a basement and just torture you for the next 3 years. Like, I'm going to just poke you with needles and shit. And eventually you die just from pure torture.
Okay. So you know that you're going to die from pure torture. It's still not going to change anything.
I don't know. I feel like that would be what I would plan for.
So you're still going to die.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So you might as well know when.
Yeah, you are fighting the inevitable. And it would be nice to plan ahead.
Yeah.
Especially, like, I mean, let's just say I've got 2 years left. I'm going to take money out. Lots and lots of money.
Yeah.
Nobody can inherit my debt.
Yeah.
That'd be great. I would like to know when I'm going to die. Good call, Tom. I'm going to change my answer and side with you.
I know. I'm smarter than you. I'm the smartest person in the room, Pat.
And you're the funniest looking.
It's good. I look just like you.
That's a valid point.
All right. All right. Anything you want to add before we get out of here?
No, I'm grateful that this podcast is going to be under a fucking hour.
Yeah. Well, we're kind of rushing. I mean, we're recording.
I'm sorry. Are we rushing it?
Not really. I mean,
I know one of us.
well, I can tell you this. The debate starts in 6
There
minutes.
you
Pat.
go.
In
There
6
you
minutes.
go.
And I want to catch it. I'm not going to lie to you. I am also tired. I have to work tomorrow. You don't.
Did you see the drinking game for the debate?
No.
You should look it up. It's funny.
Well, I'm not going to drink, so it doesn't matter.
No, it's just, I don't think it's,
I want to throw this out there again.
Yeah.
We have a big surprise coming from Monday's episode. So
I
this
don't know why
one's
you
a
keep
short
saying
one.
it's a surprise. Why don't we tell them what it is?
Well, because then it sounds fun.
It's more fun.
It's not more fun.
We're going to have multiple guests on the show.
It's a surprise of who it's going to be.
We're going to play a little game. I will be designing the game over the course of the next 3 to 4 days.
Oh, we also do a movie review.
We may skip movie
That's what I
reviews.
want. No, we can't skip movie review. Movie review Mondays.
Oh, okay. MRMs. Got it.
Yeah, come on. Do you remember the movie I told you to watch?
Not a clue.
Because at the end of the show, I'm pretty sure you said it was Brokeback Mountain. It's not.
I know it's not Brokeback Mountain.
It's Mystery Alaska.
Mystery Alaska. It was
And
a
by the way,
mystery what
when
I was
you
supposed
watch
to
it,
watch.
If you want, come over tomorrow night. We'll watch it together.
Oof,
I'll
extra.
pay the $4 to rent it.
If I can't find it for free, I will take you up on that offer.
Come over, it's a great movie.
I mean, like, I have all day tomorrow to watch the movie.
Yeah, I don't
I'll probably watch it tonight if I'm being honest.
watch it tonight. That's really?
Yeah.
You're not gonna watch it with me?
Do you want to watch it that bad?
Yes, I haven't seen it in a long time, and it's a great movie.
I would invite you to watch it at my house, but we'd either have to cuddle on the couch or cuddle in my bed because there's only those 2 TVs.
Well, if you put a TV in the other room, Pat,
Nope.
you fucking piece of shit.
Oh, speaking of, I have so many decorations in from the Zon and from Walmart for Halloween. Emily has been balling the fuck out.
Yeah, I feel super bad that you're not gonna be able to do that on Sunday.
This isn't the Sunday, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Oof. Oof. She's going to have to come over so early. She's going to be pissed.
Well,
We're going to do it
remember-
Saturday night.
Who?
Emily and I. You have to get these Halloween decorations up.
Do it up?
I might actually put the tree up tomorrow, but just black. No decorations. Then we'll decorate it Saturday night.
You're so fucking weird.
Why is that weird, bro?
You're just a weird dude.
You're just jealous because you didn't
Yeah.
think of Halloween first.
Super, yeah. Anyway, so Monday's episode, we're gonna do movie reviews. We're gonna have some special guests on. We're gonna do a game with these special guests, and maybe we'll do some Would You Rather's with them.
Absolutely.
We'll do some of that. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for that one. And then we're gonna try and start. We're gonna take Don's advice here and try and start doing more football talk on Thursday's episodes, because then we get all 3 games.
It also gives me an excuse to watch football and take notes.
Yeah, the problem is this Sunday is gonna be rough.
Well, no, I mean, this Sunday's shenanigans are all related to your family. I can just skip out on whichever ones I don't want to be a part of.
Yeah, you have to be at all of them.
That seems
Because my family is your family, Pat.
that's nice. My family is your family, Tom, and I love you.